Memory management explained. Android versus iPhone iOS. Imagine your phone as a busy office. The way it keeps track of all its files and tasks can make a big difference in how smoothly it runs. Today, we're comparing how Android and iPhone handle this task, especially when it comes to managing memory. Memory, or random access memory, is what your phone uses to keep apps and processes active. When memory is managed well, apps run faster, and your device feels more responsive. If not, you might notice lagging, app crashes, or slowdowns. iPhones use a system called automatic reference counting, or ARC. This method keeps track of how many parts of the system are using a piece of data. When nothing needs that data anymore, ARC frees it immediately. This means iOS clears out unused memory quickly and efficiently. It helps keep the RAM usage low and prevents apps from hogging resources. iOS also limits what apps can do in the background. Apps are often suspended or closed when not in use, saving memory and battery life. So, an iPhone with 6 GB of RAM can run smoothly because iOS manages memory tightly and clears unused data fast. Android, on the other hand, uses a different approach called garbage collection. This process scans for unused data at intervals and clears it out. Since this happens periodically, Android can hold onto unused data longer, which can lead to higher RAM use. Android also allows apps to run more background processes, supporting multitasking but using more memory overall. Because of this, Android apps tend to use more RAM than the same apps on iPhones. Studies show Android apps can use around 40% more RAM, and some use up to 70% more. For example, an Android phone with 8 GB of RAM might perform similarly to an iPhone with 6 GB, but it's because Android needs more RAM to keep up. Another factor is how apps run on each system. Android apps often run inside a virtual machine called the Java Virtual Machine, which adds some overhead. iOS apps run directly on the hardware, making them more memory efficient. So, in simple terms, iPhones can operate smoothly with less RAM because iOS clears unused data quickly and manages background apps strictly. Android phones usually have more RAM to handle the extra background activity and less aggressive memory clearing. If you notice your Android device using more memory, it's partly because of how the system is designed. It supports multitasking better but at the cost of higher RAM consumption. Meanwhile, iPhones keep things lean, which can be a plus for performance and battery life. Knowing these differences helps explain why Android phones often come with more RAM, even if they seem to perform similarly day to day. It's all about how each operating system manages memory and keeps your device running smoothly.